You water your leafy greens, give them sunlight, and use high-quality soil. Everything looks healthy and vibrant, but then you take a bite and the flavor is incredibly sharp and bitter. That harsh taste is not a random failure. Leafy greens are highly sensitive, and when they experience environmental stress, their immediate biological response is to go into survival mode. To survive perceived threats, the plants stop focusing on producing tender leaves. Instead, they manufacture complex natural chemicals like glucosinolates and alkaloids, which are exactly what make your harvest taste awful. We can stop these stress compounds from forming by controlling 5 specific environmental levers. Adjusting these inputs keeps the plants calm and yields greens that are consistently sweet and tender. By mastering these 5 steps, our role changes. We move past simply planting seeds and hoping for the best, and start actively managing the plant's internal survival instincts. Let's start out in the garden with the most immediate threat to your crop: heat stress. When temperatures climb above 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, leafy greens trigger their defensive posture. The plant abandons new leaf growth and pumps out bitter chemical compounds through its veins to ward off heat. The solution here is timing. Growing your greens during cooler seasons like early spring, or ensuring they rely on early morning sunlight, prevents this specific temperature threshold from being crossed. Step 2 is managing hydration. Erratic moisture levels create systemic panic inside the plant. Letting the soil dry out completely and then suddenly flooding it with water places a massive strain on the plant. It is exactly like a person severely dehydrating themselves and then quickly chugging a gallon of water. The system cannot process the intake smoothly. The standard you need to establish is evenly moist soil. Keeping the moisture steady ensures the plant can take up water and nutrients without interruption. By stabilizing temperature and water supply, we eliminate the 2 most common panic triggers. This creates the reliable baseline environment required for sweet growth. Step 3 requires us to look at the plant's canopy. A frequent error is waiting for the leaves to reach their maximum physical size before harvesting. As leaves physically age, their cellular structure changes. They naturally become tougher in texture, and their concentration of defensive bitter compounds increases exponentially. Instead of waiting, use the outer leaf method. Take your shears and selectively snip only the young, outer leaves, leaving the central core intact. Harvesting early captures the sweetest flavor profile, and preserving the core forces the plant to continuously generate fresh yield over a longer period. The 4th lever is light management, specifically addressing harsh, full-day sunlight. Even if the temperature is cool, intense, direct sun acts as a physical stressor on the delicate plant tissues. Prolonged exposure to this light directly spikes bitterness levels. You can diffuse this intense light easily. Deploy shade nets over your garden hoops, or plant greens beneath the canopy of taller companion crops to block the harshest midday rays. By harvesting leaves while they are young and actively filtering out intense sunlight, we halt the physical toughening and bittering processes inside the leaves. Our final step moves down to the root system to examine soil nutrition. Specifically, we need to manage nitrogen. Nitrogen is required to develop lush foliage. If your soil has a strict deficiency, the plant struggles to grow, resulting in weak, yellowing leaves with a heavily concentrated, bitter taste. To correct a deficiency, take a hand trowel and fold rich organic compost directly into the top layer of the soil base. However, this image highlights a severe danger in the garden: over-fertilization. Overcompensating with nutrients is worse than a deficiency. Flooding the soil with too much nitrogen burns out the root system and creates secondary chemical imbalances that quickly ruin the entire crop. Applying exactly the right amount of nitrogen feeds strong, vibrant foliage, completing the low-stress environment your greens need to thrive. By controlling heat, moisture, plant age, sunlight, and nutrition, the result is an abundant harvest of soft, mild, and naturally sweet leafy greens. With these variables established, harvesting a bitter leaf is no longer a failure. It is simply highly accurate feedback from your garden. If a leaf tastes sharp, you now know how to run down the checklist and diagnose exactly which of those 5 environmental levers needs adjustment. If you found this breakdown helpful, subscribe to the channel for more straightforward, science-backed agricultural techniques. To keep optimizing your garden, click the next video on your screen. We'll walk through the precise methods for growing larger, faster-yielding vegetables without relying on synthetic chemicals.